Hello again. Today we shall decide how to come to decision to buy what type of dizi, and these are denoted by the keys in which it is designed for. In this case, this dizi is a D of key, and you can see the engraving beside the fourth hole is written D. The fourth hole means the hole number 1, 2, 3, 4 beside the fourth hole. There is also another one here I have, which is a key of G, and you can see beside the fourth hole, 1, 2, 3, 4 is written G. The G dizi is shorter in length and higher in pitch, comparing with the D dizi, which is longer, and the D dizi is lower in pitch, and the length of the D dizi is around 62 centimeter long, and the diameter is about 3 centimeter. The G dizi, on the other hand, length is about 46 centimeter long, and the diameter is about 2 centimeters. And this is what it sounds like. The G dizi is higher in pitch, and now the D dizi is lower in pitch. Here's what it sounds like. So basically, if you prefer to have a higher pitch dizi, then you will go for the G. If you want a lower pitch, then you go for a D dizi. Personally, I prefer to play the D dizi, the longer one, because it is lower in pitch and I prefer a lower sounding instrument. And I also find that the D dizi does not pierce the ear. That means it's not so shrill. Whereas the G dizi, the sound is quite sharp, quite high, and it might be a bit piercing to the ear, as you can hear. But it's a matter of personal preference. This is again the D dizi, lower in pitch. Okay, now what does it mean by D dizi? D dizi means that when you close the first three hole, hole 1, hole 2, and hole number 3, and you play, you get a D note. That's a D note. That's the meaning of a D dizi, key of D dizi. And for key of G dizi, when you close the hole number 1, number 2, and number 3, and you play, you get a G note, which is higher in pitch. See? So this is a G dizi. So another consideration is when you buy a dizi, it will be better to buy a more expensive one. The more expensive dizi is easier to play, and the cheaper dizi may be more difficult to produce a sound. And I also find that the longer dizi, like this, for example, the D dizi, it's easier to make a sound. It's easier. Whereas shorter dizi, the G dizi, it might be difficult for beginners to make a sound. Okay, again, that's a matter of personal preference. If you like the G, you can go for the G. If you like the D, you can go for the D dizi. And you can also go for, besides D, you can also go for C, which is about the same length as this. C dizi is also fine. G dizi, besides G, you can also go for the F. F dizi is also about the same length. And you might be wondering, if I were to use a G dizi, does that mean that I can only play pieces written for the G, key of G? No. You can play any musical instrument. Chinese musical notation doesn't differentiate the keys. It's the same music notation is used for all the keys. So you can use the same music notation to play G dizi, D dizi, or G dizi, or any other key dizi. So you can choose any key that you like to play your Chinese musical instrument. So I hope that helps you make a decision on which dizi to buy.